Now this is the fly I'm going to be tying. This is called the Highland Dun. Now it was a request I got from a gentleman from Tasmania. Now for the Highland Dun, the hook I'm going to be using is this one here. This is a fulling mill. It's called an all-purpose medium. Now it is a barbed hook. You can easily debarb it, or you can use a barbless. It's entirely up to yourself. Now thread I'm going to be using is a uni thread. In this case 8/0 in dark brown. Now I have waxed the thread, so we're starting at the eye. Come down about a third of the way. Now this is where the body's going to base it on. The wing's going to be tied in and the body's going to finish there, and I've got 2 hackles to tie in front. So give yourself plenty of room. Now when you're tying the tail on the way down, it's just a natural brown cock hackle fibres. So I'm going to get a good few in, don't be shy. Now I'm going to bring them 90 degrees from the stem, and that naturally lines up the tips for you, so you can then tear them away. Now I'm looking for a tail length, at least the hook length, to go over the back, which is there. So what I'm going to do then is trim the fibre the right length. Again, make sure there's wax on your thread. I'm just going to come up a mil or so that I can catch it in. Do that again, come right round and pull it in. And then I'm going to wind down, getting the thread nice and tight. And to the point where I'm just starting to come round the bend, or just slightly by the barb, keeping hold of the tail fibres, I'm going to take a turn underneath. So take a turn underneath, let them go, and then pull the thread towards the eye. This opens and lifts the fibres a wee bit better. Looks far better if you do that. And then for the rib, I'm using an extra small copper wire. I catch this in the full length of the body. And then I'm going to basically wind up. You wax the thread, and as we wind up, just try and keep the body as smooth as possible. Tidy things up. The body is brown, you're just using the thread as a colour. You could lighten the colour of the body, you could put a dubbing on it, it's entirely up to you, but the original fly, or the Highland Dun, most of the ones I've seen anyway, have a thread type body. So it's got a body hackle, so I'm going to catch this in. Now I'm using, this is a natural brown. It's just a whiting dry fly net, hackle, or just a neck. These are lovely long hackles, ideal. You could use saddles. I like the saddle myself, but this is a good cape to use for these dries. Now I've got a feather I've taken off, removed the fluff. Wax your thread to catch in the stem. 2 or 3 turns just to make sure it's secure. What I'm going to do is wind 2 or 3 times at the top. Just wind it to form like a stopper, as they call it, just for the wing. The wing's going to be tied in front, so that's going to help lift it. And then I'm going to wind the hackle down. Could be as light or as heavy as you like. Now I've been down there about 5 or 6 times, and then I'm going to bring the rib up through, which is going to secure in the hackle. And then we catch in our wire, nice and tight. Bend and break away the wire, and then we can trim away our hackle. And there we are. Now these flies are fished in a lot of the lochs as well as the river. So I'll put some information at the bottom of the video and a link to the Tasmanian Fly Fishers Club, and you'll see a lot more information on the Highland Dun. Now for the wing, I'm just going to show you the package. Now this is from Vineyards. They sell this oak turkey, which is basically a lovely speckled hen-like colour, this colour here. Now you could use just speckled hen itself or anything else, but the markings on these are actually ideal for the fly. So we need a right and a left, and you do get that in the package. So I'm tearing off a slit from either side, and I want to basically tie them with the front of the feather facing out, so we get the best marked colour, the best. And you want the natural point up and towards the back of the hook. So this line, in line with just towards the back of the hook, this will give the impression of the the dun when it's sitting on the water. So then we hold the wing we want with my finger and thumb, wax with thread, make sure there's plenty of grip, pinch and loop 2 or 3 times, see how the wing's sitting. That looks fine to me. 3 or 4 turns, just basically make sure it's secure and trim away the excess. Now what I'm going to do is I've got a larger, same hackle, the hackle from the same cape, sorry, but slightly longer in the fibre. So it's an actual brown. So we bare some of the stem, wax with thread, make sure we've plenty of grip. You tie this down, and then basically at the same time we're tidying up the cut ends of the wing. And then what I want to do is come down about 3 turns and then tie it in. Now you need that third of the body to tie in these hackles. There's a grizzle hackle goes in front, so we trim away the excess. Again, make sure this is tidy and well tied down. So we've got a grizzle hackle, just from a basically genetic grizzle, this one from whiting. Again, just bare the fibre, bare the stem. These are slightly smaller, it's an older cape that I had. So we tie this in, hackle length much the same as the brown, or just slightly longer. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use my hackle pliers, because it's a smaller hackle, plus it takes my fingers out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. So then we wind in front, go back in if the hackle snaps. It was just a tip that came away there, so we just wind. Now this, as I say, is going to be, it's more a lock style fly, so I'm just making the no fibres going forward. When I'm happy, then I come across the thread, 3 or 4 turns. Now I'm just going to fold it back, just draw it back, come over the top of the hackle, keeping the thread tight. I can break that off, and then we're going to whip finish. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trim away, and there we are. Now you can tie this lighter, you can tie it heavier if you wish. It's a lovely pattern, it's a nice style, and when I got asked if I could tie this fly, it was the type of fly that I found interesting, and I'm sure you'll find interesting as well. Then all we have to do is finish off with a fine coat of varnish, just tapping the eye of the hook, letting the varnish, the light varnish, just a clear varnish, soak towards the head, and there we are, and that's the Highland Dun. So I hope you enjoyed that, and if you're enjoying the videos, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.